I welcome you today to Day 5 of the Breaking the Silence Summit, Healing Childhood Sexual Trauma. I am your host, Janine Naus. It's a pleasure having you join us on this summit, and I'm here with a great guest. Her name is Kessa Gooden, and Kessa is an author, motivational speaker, and a philanthropist. Given her ability to speak, she has been motivating and empowering men, women, and children worldwide. Kessa, who at the age of 14 years migrated to the United States and had been on her own since then with no one to lean on. With perseverance, determination, and endurance, she is self-independent. She's the chief executive officer of multiple businesses. She is looking to motivate, empower, and be a mentor to those that need to be uplifted. Kessa asks in her bio, "What are your issues? Marriage? Finance? Abuse? Do you have relationship issues?" She says, "Look no further. I can assure you that this information will mend your challenges and also put a big smile on your face." Now, I've been speaking with Kessa earlier about her topic, Spiritual Principles of Childhood Trauma and Abuse, and I feel our audience will find what she shares as very interesting and quite helpful. So Kessa, welcome to Breaking the Silence Summit. It's great to have you with us today.
Thank you, Janine. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So Kessa, I'm just going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to ask you, what led you to Breaking the Silence Summit, and was there a personal experience you'd like to share?
Yes, Janine. As a matter of fact, as a child, I've been inappropriately touched and molested growing up during my childhood years and stuff. I had to work through the process of healing and get over what I went through alone. I didn't have any support or someone that could support me in getting over it and helping me to understand that it wasn't my fault. So I've never spoken before about it publicly, and I'm willing to share it with you today. When I saw the summit name, Breaking the Silence, I said it's about time that I speak my truth.
Beautiful. And, and in terms of speaking your truth, what does that mean for you, in terms of bringing your truth out to the light?
Well, as children, we come into the world and we come here under the guidance of parents and people that are close to us, our loved ones. And to have that kind of trust betrayed, it is something that breaks you internally, not only as a child, but as an adult. It affects you how you are. Well, personally speaking, I know my trauma that I've been through, being sexually molested and being touched inappropriately on numerous occasions by people who I trusted, father figures that were supposed to be there for me and to represent that security, that sense of protection. They were the one who basically take that away from me. And it has been such a challenge to go through that and to recover from it, that even in my adult years, I didn't know how much it impacted me and how much it has basically put me on a path that could lead to self-destruction. So I had to go through the journey of healing from that. One of my biggest hurt from that past is that my confidant that was supposed to be there for me, that I expressed to, which is my mom, how whatever happened, and basically she did not trust me, she did not believe me. She basically took the side of her husband over her own child. And I didn't just lose part of me that day. I lose my mom. I lose my sense of being. I lose my sense of being a human being. And it started since a child, since I was a kid, since I was like 10 years old. So it basically just take away my value
Mm,
of who I am as a person. And now that I'm not much older, much mature, I'm understanding that it was not my fault. I
mm,
could not have done anything to change it. Maybe I was supposed to experience it. You know, one of the biggest thing is watching that hurt being replayed over and over and over again inside of me. And I know there's many people out there who's going through similar situation and they have no one to lean to, no one to talk to, no one to express their pain to, because they feel no one will understand.
mm,
And basically that's why I am doing Breaking the Silence, so that for people who are scared to speak their voice or speak of their pain, I'm speaking for them too,
mm.
because I experienced it.
Oh, beautiful, Kessa, and you know my heart is there for you, and very brave for you to share at this time, and you know it's comforting to know that we're here, we're all here for each other, to support each other. So I'm going to go into your question in terms of realization. So, what are some of your insights that you learned from your experience?
The first thing I've learned is that it's not my fault.
Mm-hmm.
It is not my fault, and I have to forgive me for that. The next thing that I've learned is that I have to forgive them that hurt me. Maybe they didn't know what they're doing, maybe they didn't care, but also forgive them so that pain doesn't keep on repeating itself. My realization is that maybe they're just as hurt as they projected on me as well. Maybe they're going through similar things.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to pick up my self-worth, my value of how I see myself. I mean, after the situation happened throughout my life, I've been attracted to the wrong guys. I've been in relationship that basically the guys will treat me like a doormat versus, and I didn't understand where that was coming from. I couldn't understand that why would I date certain type of men. And I also realized that because of my father figure as well, who was supposed to represent the sense of security and protection, because that wall was torn down, it opened the door for me to experience this over and over and over again with other men or with guys that I date. And I know that I am not the only one going through this. Maybe we cannot pinpoint where it is coming from, why we date certain type of guys, why we get in certain type of relationship. And the chances are, if we look at how a male figure or a trusted representation of a parent or people that we were trusting before that have hurt us, this is the reason why we keep reliving that pain. And I realize that if I don't come face to face with that, I'm always going to relive it. And I have 3 kids now, so I cannot let them go through that, relive that trauma through my eyes. So I had to go on the path of self growth and healing so that I can become the better version of myself.
It's very, very heartwarming and thought provoking response to that question in terms of your insights, and so when we talk about some of these learned experiences, So how do you see that, in terms of what you could share with the audience in terms of how that your experience could, you could share and help them. Yeah.
Basically, once you acknowledge that it is not your fault,
Mm-hmm.
accept that it has happened to you, and you shed light to it and bring it for healing internally, then we're able to release it and move on and move forward with our life. Because if we don't do that, what will happen is it will keep repeating itself.
Yeah.
And for people who are going through the situation, mine came and hit me in the future. It didn't really affected me as much as a child because I basically internalized the process.
Mm-hmm.
It's only when I was an adult, after graduating college, after completing so many things, and I realized that I still have that lack of self-worth. I could not determine my value, and I didn't understand why. And the whole trauma come repeating itself all over again. And I realized I had to face it. I had to acknowledge it. Yes, I may talk to my mom, and my mom may still be in denial about it, but not because she chooses to live in denial mean I should accept her false perspective of what happened. So if I had acknowledged it as a child, which I didn't know then, acknowledge it then, I would have been able to heal through it in my young childhood days. But through this journey, I was able to acknowledge it more in an adult perspective. So
Mm-hmm.
for anyone who are watching it right now as a kid or as a young adult, it's best that you acknowledge what happened when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So you release it at that moment because it can be dire consequences in the future for that trauma. That trauma can cause you to lose everything. It can cause you to repeat old patterns. It can actually cause you to go to addiction, self-hatred. It basically fragments your soul as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
So when going through any trauma, whether it's sexual trauma, abusive trauma, any trauma at all, it's best to own your power and take it back so you don't leave a piece of you with that perpetrator or the person that hurt you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Kessa. I think our audience would find that advice very helpful, and part of what your soul journey to help others with this type of um, situation. So, I wanted to ask, Kessa, what actions or steps do you take to help you recover or heal?
So I started meditating about 6 years ago. I like silence. I like quiet sounds, sound of nature, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I went internal, and I basically searched me to realize that even though I may feel broken, I am not broken. Yeah,
Exactly.
so there were like pieces of me that was left in the situation. So I had to face those situations again. I had to face the perpetrators again. And instead of feeling broken throughout the journey, after facing them, I realized that they're just stuck. They
Mm.
have no clue of their actions on what it does to you as a person. They feel no remorse about it. Because I guess you could say them themselves are a little bit lost as well.
Mm.
So they don't really understand. I think you only hurt people when you don't know yourself.
Yeah.
So after going on that internal journey and basically analyzing every aspect of my being, I was able to come face to face and said, you know what? it is it. It's done. It's done.
Beautiful. Thank you for that response. And that's, I think it's very helpful. And when we step into that space where we know that we can take action to help ourselves, and that's very important in terms of your recovery and your healing process. Yeah, very good. So I would like to ask you, Kessa, what suggestions do you have um, going when somebody is going through something similar? What suggestions would you share with that person?
Acknowledge it.
Mm-hmm. That's a big one. Yeah.
Acknowledge, and don't feel less of a human being because it's happening to you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel less than perfect. Don't blame yourself for it, and know that it is okay, and know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we tend to, how do you say, blame ourselves and keep ourselves in a broken
Mm-hmm.
part of life when we're experiencing trauma. And if we come to acknowledge that this is a human experience and we all must go through something so we can heal and grow,
Mm-hmm.
then it becomes easier to deal with each trauma that comes about. But it's best to deal with it right then and there. Don't put it off for later. Deal with it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it sounds like it's very important to go on a healing journey, and if you're recognizing or feeling that it I hear this message that you're trying to say, it's really important to find someone to work with to help you through. And one of the things you shared just a little bit ago is about we're not broken, and in reality, we're whole beings. We're already whole, was sort of the message. And I thought that was really a great message that you shared. So I wanted to ask a little bit about, for people that are listening today, what do they need to do to experience all that we were talking about?
They can, for people that are watching, they can connect with us. They can connect with you. They can connect with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a safe place and a safe space to share what you're going through with. And even though many people won't understand, it is something that it's okay to share. I'm offering a free 30-minute session that if you do want to share with someone, because I didn't have someone to support me through this journey. I had to go through this journey by myself without any support or someone to talk to. As a matter of fact, the one person I could have shared my experience with did not really do anything to help heal me or help me overcome the situation. And that's why I'm here to support anyone who's out there who's going through a similar situation. And I'm offering this free 30-minute session so that you could talk to me. It's very confidential. I'll be able to listen to you and pinpoint the root to the trauma you're experiencing, help you accept it and release it so you can move on and get to the next chapter of life. So yeah.
That's a really wonderful gift you're sharing. And because I know, and hearing from you, and I know from my own personal experience, just being heard is so critically important. And how do you feel about that? Do you feel the same? Just so important to be heard?
To be honest, I feel such a relief right now to
Mm-hmm.
express with you today. As I said, this is my first time speaking about what happened to me publicly. And I feel great to know that even if it's one person who hear this, that it could make a difference in their life. And I am blessed to be able to share with you.
Mm. Beautiful, Kessa. And to connect with Kessa, you can reach her by calling her or booking an appointment on her Facebook page. And when you go to Facebook, you would search her handle, Facebook handle. It's Kessa Gooden Team, and that's KessaGooden Team. And you can also go to her website, which is www.kessamgooden.com. And she also shares her phone number as a way to reach out to her, and that is 770-917-3666. And again, that number is 770-917-3666. And we'll have all this information and the links to her Facebook and her website and the phone number on our replay page. So, Kessa, is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience?
Janine and everyone who's watching, I think the best part is to know that life is a journey. It's not a marathon. So let's take our time, go through this journey, heal, become whole, so we could be the best version of ourselves.
That is so beautiful. And then you can work with Kessa. She has a program too that I understand that you can continue your work after your free gift. And did you want to share a little bit about that?
Oh, yes. I offer a program. It's a monthly program where I'll be your life support. Basically, you will call and stuff that you cannot tell a friend or a mom or someone else, even a counselor, you could call and talk to me. Monthly is just starting at $97, and I'm here for you as your support and to help you get over any life challenges that you may be facing right now. And I know, as I said before, what it's like to go through this without having the support, and I'll be glad to be your bothered buddy. I'll be glad to be your support.
That's just great. So, and again, to connect with Kessa, you can reach her by calling her, book an appointment on her Facebook page. And again, her handle is Kessa Gooden Team. And then you can reach her at her website at www.kessamgooden.com or call her at 770-917-3666. And we'll also have this information on our replay page. Okay, our very special guest, Kessa Gooden, is an amazing woman and with a very kind and compassionate heart. And she'd love to work with you to heal from trauma and work on any issue you'd like for a happier and healthier you. And again, you can connect with Kessa at our replay page. Kessa, I just want to thank you for the courage to take this big step and joining us today, and it's been such a real pleasure to be able to connect with you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Janine. You too. Take care.
Sure. Thank you.